For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 82. Yes, I still remember the numbers now. If you were with us at the summit or you weren't, one of the sort of standout messages that I've gotten so much positive feedback from was when I opened, I said, I want you to listen for the next couple days through the filter, like listen through the filter of model, marketing, and mindset. Model, marketing, and mindset. I said to the group, who are you modeling in your business? And as I'm presenting a new system or a new process or a way to operate your business, you have to ask yourself, can I add this into my business? Can this be a part of my model for how I operate and run my business? Then I said, every new marketing thing, is this a marketing thing I can add into my business? Listen through that filter. If you stopped right now and you watched the first 81 episodes, what a wonderful way for you to listen through this filter. Can I add this into my mindset? Can I add this into my marketing? And is this going to become a way that I'm going to model and build my business? Now, with all of that said, I really want to talk about this one because I was thinking about a wonderful client. I'm not going to say her name because I know she's watching this and she was with us at the summit, but this beautiful woman I met in 1996 who at the time was, let's just say, in the top 25 in the world for her brand, big company. And she came up to me and literally our meeting went like this. Hi, and I saw her name because she was wearing a name badge. And she said, I need your help. And I said, yeah, how can I help? And she started crying. And I said, we're at a seminar where we're learning what to say and what to do, and people are kind of motivated. I'm usually not, I don't have crying during this experience. I was thinking like there's no crying in baseball, right? Like that's kind of where my head was. But I said, what's going on? And she said, and she told me, number one in her office, number one in her state, and where she ranked nationally and globally. And I said, gosh, most people don't cry when they tell me those things. And because of just kind of who I am, as you get to know me better, I immediately said to her, are you married or single? And she went, "Ah!" Which I think we know what that means. Married, but not for long. You with me on this? Like their relationship wasn't all that great is what I discovered. Then I said, do you have children or no children? "Ah!" And I said, how old are they? She said, 3 and 9. And I said, how's that working for you? She said, I hate it. So we start our coaching relationship, and what is exciting today is that, her children, one of them works with her now, and the other one is very successful, and she's married to the same guy. Like she worked it all out from 1996 moving forward. What we did is we changed the model. But see, here's the point, ready? My business today, your business today is a reflection of the people that you modeled, conscious or not. Now think about what I just said. Your business today, if you did a self-assessment of the way that you operate, how you run your time, are you organized or not? Do you do your marketing? Do you follow up on your leads? Everything that you do, my friends, is a learned behavior. And just like when we were kids and we said, I don't know how to ride a bike, you looked across the street at your buddy who was riding their bike and you were like, okay, I see, like I got to first kick with the pedal and start, or the first time you were on a skateboard or hit a tennis ball, whatever you did. It's all learned behaviors. But what we did is we watched and observed somebody else. We were consciously or not modeling the behaviors of others to learn to do the things that we do. If you have children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And every adult remembers being a child and even being an adult and doing this today. Whether it's fashion or music or the way you run your business or the way you throw a dinner party or the fact that you never throw a dinner party, it's all modeling behavior. So go back to what I said. Your business today is a reflection of the people that you've modeled, conscious or not. So when I was with this woman on our very first coaching call, I said to her, tell me about your business today. And she described it. And I said, that's really impressive because you've done this in a very short period of time as a former, non-real estate person coming in, you're wildly successful. Who was your role model? And then she went, oh my goodness. And she described the woman that she had modeled consciously. She said, I want to be like Agent X, except for the fact that she didn't say, wait a minute, This person works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. They've already raised a husband. They've already raised their children. They're in a position where they can pour themselves into their business. And this young woman, newlywed, at the time only one child, gets into business, and she follows a model of a person that works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and has absolutely no life, but wildly successful and gets all the trophies. Think about it. Think about it. Your business today is a reflection of the people that you modeled, conscious or not. For her, it was conscious. I got a phone call from a client of mine in New York City. Big shout out to Josh Rubin. Amazing guy. I can say his name. Josh says to me, I'm doing X. And Josh is wildly successful. I believe last year he was he's always on the top 100, but in New York City specifically, Josh, unbelievable success. #1 transaction agent for his company, Douglas Elliman, retail side, doesn't sell the buildings and all that kind of stuff. Just, individual units. Unbelievable producer. And yet Josh says to me, I'd like to look at other models. That's the way this guy's brain works. He says, who should I be modeling to go to the next level? Isn't that brilliant? And we started this sort of exploration, this project of looking around at all these other agent businesses that he could say, I'm going to intentionally pull a piece from this. I'm going to intentionally pull a piece from this. And this is why Josh is so successful, because he understands he doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. You got to find the model, and as long as it matches your mindset and your brand and everything else, you add it into your business. Does that make sense? So now think about it again. Your business today is a reflection of the people you've modeled. Now, what that means is you don't go back to agents in the past and say, you did this to me. No, you did this to you. The way you're operating today is the way you're operating today because of this. Now the question is, do you want to make some changes? What I said to everybody at the summit is, awareness is the first step of change. Awareness, right? Some people relate to, hello, my name is, and I'm a, right? Until you can say, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict, whatever it is, a gambler, until you can say that, you can't go to the next level to start interrupting the pattern and then creating the new behavior. So don't blame the people from the past. Don't even look at the past. Instead, let's look to the future. As we sit here, let's just call it, we're almost into the fourth quarter, right? Coming into, in September right now, you start thinking about, hey, next year, 2017, how do I want to finish the fourth quarter of this year? And then going the next year, I would ask you these questions. Who should you model now? Who should you model now? Like, knowing what you know now about this business, about the market, about the total addressable market in terms of transactions and revenue and GCI and the time that it all takes. Who's your ideal model? Who's your ideal model? And then you say, well, what's their attitude? What's their marketing like? What's their style like? Like, how do they operate? Who are they being? You know what I mean? And then how do they manage their time? Remember, this woman over here, her model was, this guy works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So she emulated that. She modeled that, like riding a bike or riding a skateboard or getting dressed. She followed that model, and it almost destroyed her marriage and created a massive disconnect with her children. So now I want to be intentional. Who's doing it right in terms of time? How's their language? What's their work ethic? What are their systems? What are their team? Like, every ounce of the subtleties of their business, of how they do what they do, that's a chance for you to model. Now, the next question is, what's your plan, right? So the first thing I would say to you is this. I would ask myself, what does my ideal business look like, right? What does my ideal business look like? And then I could say to myself, well, in my ideal world, I'd be making this. I'd have this many weeks off. I'd have this level of stress, because we're all going to deal with stress. Let me tell you when you don't have stress. When you're dead. That's when you don't have stress. You with me on this? So we always have stress, but there's good stress and bad stress, right? Good stress, lots of money and no time. Bad stress, lots of time and no money. You with me on this? So there's always going to be stress, but what does your ideal business look like? Money, time, energy, the type of customers you want to serve, the number of customers you're serving, and you begin to map out, this is what I want it to look like, and then who have I seen that's already done that? So I can discover, what is Jessica's attitude? How does she manage her time? What's her work ethic? What are her systems like? And the beautiful thing, certainly in my world, is in our ecosystem, everybody shares. Everybody shares. You go into Facebook and say, hey, how are you doing this? And boom, you take it. You grab the Summit workbook and say, my goodness, there's 8 different marketing campaigns and all the infrastructure and systems and process and order. It's all inside there, right? You take the model and you implement it. But then the big one is, what's your timing expectation? You see, it took that other agent that my client, the female one, was emulating, it took that woman 15 years to get to her level. It took the one that I was telling you about 7 or 8 years to get to that woman's level. So you need to be realistic with yourself and say, wait a minute, if I'm selling 18 homes a year and I'm doing it 365 days a week and I have no money at the end of the year and I'm choosing a new model now, what's my expectation? Can I say to myself, as I just said to my kids a couple days ago, I have this new game called 1% better per quarter. Now this is not going to be exciting to you. You're going to be like, wait a minute, I'm looking for like the get rich quick, how do I change the world on Tuesday and not work, right? Like thin thighs in 30 days or less without diet and exercise. You with me on this? That's what everybody wants, and if that was available, I'd probably offer it. But you and I both know that ain't available. So I play 1% a quarter. And I tell my boys, can your grades get 1% a quarter improved? Can your health and vitality get 1% a quarter improved? Can your savings account get 1% improved? Can your relationships 1% a quarter improved? And then I say, because if you improve 1% a quarter over 25 years of your life's extraordinary. Now, that may not resonate for you because maybe right now you're like, I have no money, I have no sales, or I've got all the sales in the world, I'm making a fortune, but I have no time and my relationship's out of whack and I need radical change. I get it. I get it. What's your expectation in terms of time? A lot of us, you can turn everything around between now and the end of the year. But what I want for you is long-term sustainable growth where you feel good about the business and it's less of these big monstrous highs and lows, but instead like this. And as you're watching this, you might be saying, who is Tom Ferry's model? Who did he get that from? That came from one of my mentors, a guy named Bill Mitchell, who said, Tom, it doesn't matter how you leave, it's how you arrive, right? I want the journey of my business and the journey of my life to be this insanely great experience of memories. You with me on this? That's my model. What's your model? Who are you modeling? You with me on this? Now I know for some of you, you're like, whoa, Ferry, a little deep, a little heavy, right? I know you talk about marketing and mindset and systems and process. But what you're now really asking me to do is to stop and reflect and assess, how did I get here? Now, one of the things I said repeatedly at the summit was, what got you here won't get you there. Think about it. What got you here won't get you there, so you got yourself here, now you get yourself there. What's your expectation in terms of time? And can you do it with the same model, or is it time to make some model adjustments? Can they go download the summit workbook anywhere? Okay, so I'm gonna say for 24 hours after this video is launched, they can get it for free. I'm negotiating right now on your behalf with my director of marketing, who's going to be very upset. So you've got 24 hours. Let's put a link on there, 24 hours, put a time clock on it, and then download the entire summit workbook, and then we sell it after that. So you're welcome in advance, but you got to download it fast. And if you're watching this 5 months from now, you got to buy it. So here's the deal. It's just another model. Who are you going to model? What are the changes you're going to make? What is the expectation? What is the plan? And then just attack it, my friends. And I like the 1% game. It may not be fast enough for you, but tortoise versus the hare. I know the hare's really fast and it's exciting, but the tortoise wins. You with me? Slow, methodical, nice changes, day in, day out, and you win. Does that make sense? Thanks so much for watching. I want some comments down below. I want some comments, not just about the workbook. I want comments. Let me know how you're doing. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, always your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your model absolutely rules. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.